Welcome to Flory Models. I'm Flory. Today on the 1st of June 2015, after a 3-week break, I must admit we had a fantastic time. I know a lot of you have seen the photos in the forum. A couple just going to flick across here. What can I say? Alaska, absolutely stunning. The scenery and everything, the photos just don't do it justice. It is just absolutely stunning and immense. And we were so lucky with the weather, unbelievably lucky with the weather. In fact, everywhere we went, everyone was saying it's not normally like this. It's normally cloudy and raining. We didn't see a cloud for 2 weeks. It was amazing. Then we went over to Hawaii and we had another week over there, and that was absolutely fantastic as well. And then back. And then, as a lot of you know, Mel, bless her, has got ill. We had a bit of a scare last night, to be honest. 1:30, we were at the hospital in the morning. We suspected DVT from the flight. It turns out it wasn't. She's actually got a blood infection, so she's on antibiotics and everything else. But I know a lot of you are obviously on my Facebook, my personal one as well. You've mentioned it and everything else. She's fine. She's literally above us in bed, tucked up on antibiotics, and hopefully she'll start to feel better in the next few days. But it's quite a heavy dosage she's on for a full week as well. So it hit her pretty hard, and it's a bit of a shame really. Came back and obviously that happened. Could have been worse, could have happened when we was away. So never mind. Anyway, back to the business in hand. Thank you for all the kind feedback on the ones I've left you. I know a lot of you have obviously gone out and seen the Airfix Hurricane. To say that that was tight at the end was an understatement, seeing as I was still working on that at 10 to 1 in the morning the day before we left. And I had to edit it, get it up, which I did, and literally I was sat waiting for it to render to go up so I could get it onto the site before we drove off. The car was packed and everything. I was still waiting for it to happen, so I was really happy I could get the last part up for you before we went. I didn't have time to sort of, you know, showcase a lot of the other bits that were up there. And looking at the figures, a lot of you haven't actually watched this one. We've got the tumbler, the Dark Knight tumbler. That one is up there as a full video build. That was completed. I know about 300 of you watched it, but you know, obviously a lot of you haven't. So if you want to see about that one's up on the site. Obviously we completed the Bradley. That was the ongoing one at the time. We thoroughly loved that one. Brilliant build and everything else. And the well, what was a dog of a kit, although I've sort of warmed to it now, especially with the weathering that we did on this one. This is the Kinetic Sea Harrier, and a lot of you now know they have done the FRS one, which is due to be released shortly. I don't know if I'm going to jump in straight away and do it, because obviously we've done the Harrier, but certainly it was a lot of fun to do, and I thoroughly enjoyed the weathering. Obviously I've been away for 3 weeks, so you know, in that time the sort of mojo goes from up here, because when we're in Alaska I'm seeing, you know, DC-4s flying around, C-46s a lot, as well as obviously all your standard sort of water bombers, you know, and C-214s, 215s, things like that, the Canadair stuff, all over you. And then, you know, not to mention your standard Beavers, all the turboprop float planes, because they are two a penny out there. You know, you look in any direction you can see one. So the inspiration was absolutely fantastic for that. So a few little plans, might do a water plane, never done one before, so something like a water fire bomber, things like that I'm thinking about doing in the future. And then over to Hawaii, you know, I know a lot of you have seen the photos. I've taken literally thousands. In fact, I took around about 3,500 photos. So I've still got a lot to go through. A lot of you have seen, obviously we did the Pearl Harbor all around there. So we've got the Missouri. I've done loads of photos on that, pretty much, you know, stacked out an SD card just full of that. And then obviously for the Pearl Harbor aviation one as well. So I've got loads of reference photos from all of their stuff in there. They've got some nice stuff. It's a shame about some of them, like the F-14 is rotting outside an F-14D, and it's pretty nasty, unfortunately. They've got some nice stuff inside. A couple of Frankenstein aircraft weren't too keen on, but some of the exhibits they've got is very nice indeed in there, including their Sea King, and they've got the Sea Knight in there as well. You've got the Super Stallion as well for the helicopter guys, as well as some nice jets. Got a MiG-21 in there as well. And other bits and pieces, an F4, but unfortunately they're a little bit Frankenstein-y, and I don't like to see that. I prefer to see them either original or you know restore them properly. You know, the bit where they've done some sheet aluminium work to make it look like an engine nozzle, not very nice. But anyway, very nice. So as I said, I've got loads of stuff to do, loads of stuff to get up and everything else. So housekeeping duties. First off, the raffle ended on well, yesterday, okay, being the first as well. So the free draw, prize draw, okay, that was won by Frederick Beljar. I hope I've got that right. You won that one, so I think it's a set of Sanders, if I remember rightly, and the usual gumph that goes with that. So I'll get in contact with you today or tomorrow, or just send me your details and I'll get that in the post to you tomorrow. The Snap raffle has gone absolutely ballistic. I am so proud of you guys, absolutely fantastic. I can't remember what we're up to as we speak, but obviously today is the last day, being the first, so I'm going to close that literally as this airs, okay? But I think we are around about the 2,700 mark, which is absolutely fantastic, including some more other kits which are brought in, which I do have to mention, because literally it was lucky actually, because one of the staff was here when the postman delivered it. So we got the Grumman F14 Black Tomcat 148 scale Revel. We've got the Revel A10 in 48th as well, which a lot of people say that's the finest one out there for shape wise. We've got the Weekend Edition MiG-21 from Edard. We've also got the Lewis Hamilton Vodafone FX F1 car as well. And I do apologise because I've forgotten your name. I'm terrible at this. See, I've got to get back in the flow of this. Who sent it? Carl. Carl Branton. Thank you very much, Carl. It's going to go with the rest of them. The draw is going to actually take place live on tomorrow's live show, because the live show is going to be back being Tuesday. I've got to speak to Sid yet. I haven't even spoke to Sid. Sid, if you're watching, are you in? If not, it will be here anyway. So I'm going to draw it live on there around about the 7:30 mark. We're going to get it all out, make a bit of a splash about it. I've got to do everyone's ticket now, and where you've obviously bought multiple tickets as well, and then we're going to put them into a giant box, have a good old rummage round. We're going to do it. I'm also going to pull out some special prizes as well here from Flory Models, membership, things like that, after the big one. So don't think it's just going to be one ticket and that's it. You've got lots of chances to win. We're going to have about 10 prizes in total, so got multiple chances. But a massive thank you to everybody who's bought a ticket. You know, some of you have bought lots of tickets. You know, it doesn't matter if it's one or if it's 100. It's absolutely fantastic. So big thank you to all of you, and also thank you to everyone who's been very generous and donated stuff as well. So absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be handing over the check to them when we go away again, because amazingly I'm away in about 3 or 4 weeks time with Snap, helping them out again. So we're off to Tenerife for that one, so I want to hand it over, and we're going to do some things with the kids and the various bits and that, so you can see exactly where your money's gone. Anyway, right, okay, because we're back and everything else, the subscription system is now been made live again. If you had a problem with your subscription, i.e. it cancelled out whilst we were away, what's going to happen is, or you would have had now an email from the system. Now the system will send you an email saying like, don't panic, it's been cancelled and all the rest of it. Your membership is still running. Don't forget, the subscription is how we get paid. Your membership is something different, okay? So when it says your subscription cancelled, it doesn't mean you can't get in. You still can get in, everything works fine. But what it is, you've now got 7 days to basically answer that email. There's a link in there, and all you do is literally resubscribe again, pays your money, all right? So if you're doing it monthly or yearly, whichever way you want to do it, and then don't do anything else. Don't try and fill in the registration, because it's going to say you're still a member. What will happen is, and then sometimes it takes a couple of hours, sometimes I have to give it a nudge if your name's slightly different and things like that, or you've changed your payment details. And what will happen is you'll get another email saying, thank you for resubscribing, your system's now been updated and everything else. But don't adjust anything, just carry on using it as you would. If you find you can't get in, you get taken to a page and basically says, you know, you're not allowed to see all this and everything else, shoot me a PM either through the forum or certainly obviously through the site, contact me, or through the membership at florymodels.co.uk, and I'll get you sorted out and fixed as well. So, you know, obviously I know a lot of you have panicked whilst we were away. I did say don't panic, and a lot of you are like, oh my god, you've cancelled my subscription. I haven't cancelled anything. It's just telling you you have. The system itself won't do anything, okay? The automatic thing is off at the moment. I'm doing it all manually so I can make sure nobody loses out. A couple of other things I want to mention is I've drawn the next big thing. As I said, you can see down here we've got the Scout Walker. This is just for me to get my mojo back, okay, and start to sort of, you know, get back in the swing of it, get the camera. I must admit, I've had a bit of an issue with one of the cameras for the first time ever, but the white balance is playing up a little bit, which is handy because it's a nice quick build, so I can adjust it on the fly. But what I'm going to do at the moment is the 80 ST. Now I'm going to have this done in around about 3 days, probably Wednesday, Thursday. I'll have it finished and everything else. It's just for me to get my mojo back in. And then the next big one, the big build after that, I'm going to be tackling Rebel's 132nd Eurofighter Typhoon. Okay, so we're going to be doing that one. I'm going to put an LED lighting set in it. I'm going to do it in flight. Okay, so it's going to be a big lump in flight, weathered, armed, crew, the works, but we're going to be using some of the magic lighting sets in there for the engines, for the navigation and the cockpit and things like that, and strobe lights. So it's going to be an impressive one, and one you're not going to miss. Probably going to start that on Monday. I'm just going to get my mojo. I've got to get everything flowing in. To be honest, I've got a mountain of paperwork and admin to go through. and all things like that. So that's coming up, and then afterwards I might chuck in a curveball to go along with it, so it could be something a little bit odd, okay, or I might just drag something out of that list that we've got going on at the moment, because I know the Starfighter is pretty much up there as we speak to be the next one done, but I know a lot of you want to see the Halifax done and things like that. So you know, we've done a little bit of World War II, but I think it doesn't hurt to have a World War II one on the go. And then what we're going to do after that, we're going to come back to doing something with armor, and then I want to do something like the Ducati 1199 I want to do. Obviously we've got the F1 car as well, we've got the RB6 Red Bull for the summer as well, so we've got loads of kits to sort of get on with and things like that, but I want to throw myself into something I can just whip through and get the mojo back, so that's why I'm doing the 80 ST, okay, and then we're going to have a big kit on the go and something else, so plenty still to come. As speaking of that, my snow speeder has been dispatched as well, so I've got the 148 scale snow speeder, the latest one from Bandai, on its way as well, so very hopeful for that one. So that's about it for today. Thank you, getting back to it all. Thank you for bearing with me with emails and various things. I think I've pretty much caught up by the time you get this. If you haven't, shoot me it again, because obviously you've got to imagine I was very good. I had a system where all your emails came to one place, and I only had 277, which is okay. But then all the other sort of 4,000 odd, which are like payment one, subscription failures, and all those types of things, they all went somewhere else. But I think I've caught up with the sort of, you know, the 200 or 300 I had to take care of are done. So if I haven't responded to a question or something you've sent me, shoot me it again, because it's obviously got buried somewhere, or I've accidentally deleted it, trying to clear some space and things like that. But anyway, it's really good to be back. I'm glad you all enjoyed everything that went on. Obviously the site's got no bumps, scratches or dents in it, which is amazing. Thank you to the team for looking after it, obviously Hans and Steve and the guys and everything else for keeping an eye on it for us whilst we're away. And the only thing is, for me, it's still, don't forget, we was in Hawaii. It's 11 hours behind here, so it worked out, it took us 30 hours to get home. With everything from waking up in the morning to going to bed, it was 30 hours. So to say it was a little bit of jet lag is absolutely an understatement, but I think I'm just about there now, pretty much still awake now, and I'm doing this at literally just gone 3:30 in the afternoon, so we're getting there. But anyway, live show tomorrow night, so there's going to be no video vlog, okay, because obviously we've got the live show that's going to be starting at 7. Don't forget, it's the new format, so it's only going to go 7 till 9, and we're going to sort of pre-do your questions. So I'm going to open up the thing first thing in the morning, post your questions up, and then what we're going to do is any that we don't answer, we're going to carry over. But it's going to be nice, short, sharp, concise, and everything else. So we're going to be answering all your questions, so don't forget to get them in on the forum, and we'll answer as many as we can, plus anything else topical we can think about and everything else like that. So I'm hoping the team, although I haven't spoken to any of them yet, but they'll be around for the live show as well, and hopefully we're going to get Sid back in here and everything else. So until tomorrow, everybody, happy modelling and take care.